Okay. Hello. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, this is very exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting for us as well. This is an interview with the famous Changing Cheryl, and you might have seen her on Instagram. That's how I found her. But she's also on Facebook, but she posts the most lovely things. Cheryl is vegan, and she has a wonderful story to share. So, without further ado, Cheryl, please tell everybody your story and your journey.
Wow, it's a long story, so I'll go over the highlights, and we can delve into any little bits that you want to along the way.
Okay.
My story starts from being obese my entire life, and just being resigned to the fact that that was just how it was for me, and everybody else got to fit into a normal world, and I was fine with it, really, and I was always a happy person. I was always confident, and it was just I accepted it. And until one day got I had my aha moment, my rock bottom kind of. I don't really like those terms, but that was like there was a moment for me that kind of changed things in my head, and I had been wanting to change. I just didn't know that it was possible. And so I sought out a personal trainer, and thinking that exercise was the way to lose weight. And for a short time, it really was, but it's not sustainable unless you can really get grips on the food. So that was over 7 years ago now, and I was in my early 30s, and um, I moved away, and I was still exercising, and I was still losing some weight. And um, I guess I should say, like, I was severely obese. Like, I was 340 pounds at my heaviest weight. So
Wow.
at 5'3", it's hard to people look at me now. They just can't picture that. They're like, but you're so small. And it's like, but I was so big. And if people see on my social media, there's pictures of me on there, just how big I was, and it shocks people.
Wow.
So I'd continued to lose some weight, and we had moved here to Nova Scotia, where we live now, and things happen. Stuff gets in the way, and I stopped exercising. Well, inevitably, I gained weight, because in my head, it was still about the exercise. If I couldn't exercise, then I wasn't going to lose weight, and it still wasn't it hadn't clicked yet that it was about the food. Whether I exercised or
Right.
not, it was about the food. So I put back on weight again, and I got back up over 300 pounds, and I thought, oh, I can't do this. I have to hire another trainer. And I did. So I spent more money, and learned a vast amount of things from my first trainer and my second personal trainer. And I'm still friends with her to this day. She's a lovely person. But I never could get there. So I still didn't end up losing much weight with her. And I decided that that's it. I have to have bariatric surgery. I have to have weight loss surgery. That's the only thing that's going to save me. Everybody else can do it but me. And so I went to my doctor, and I got a referral for bariatric surgery. And it's many, many years wait in Nova Scotia to have the surgery. So I thought, I've got a lot of years to get it together, and try it on my own.
Right.
Um, and I struggled still farther along, as I carried along. And about a year before it came time for me to have the bariatric surgery, I don't know what per se exactly clicked in the fact that it was about the food. And but I knew it's like I had to get a grips on the food. And so I started, and this is where my veganism comes in, because I
Let
wasn't
me
vegan this
ask,
whole time.
what was your diet like at that time?
Um,
Before that, like before the aha
which
moment.
time? At which point?
Well, when you said that that you finally figured out that it was about the food, like what was your diet like prior to that?
It was varied. I'm a good cook, so I ate a variety, but a very rich food. And
Mm-hmm.
I ate meat, and I
Mm-hmm.
still ate animal products of all sorts, and um, very high calorie. I could eat huge portions. I ate a lot of food, and you have to eat a lot of food to be that big.
Mm-hmm.
To stay that big, you have to eat a lot of calories to maintain that size. And so I loved to cook. I loved healthy food. I loved unhealthy food. I loved processed food and like I'm what do call a foodie. I'm still a foodie. Um, but when I had started to get it together, when it started clicking with the food, I realized that the higher calorie food that had less nutrients in it was the animal products. So I was like, okay. And it made no connection really. I was like, okay, so I'm going to cut out some meat. I'm going to cut back on the milk products. I'm going to cut back on the cheeses. I'm going to cut back on all this stuff to save calories, because really it became about this high calorie food that really didn't have any value. Nutrient wise, and it wasn't supporting what I wanted, which was at the time weight loss. So I just started substituting it with either meat replacements, like Eve's ground round or tofu, which is all food I liked before. I liked it all.
Yeah.
And I noticed I was like, oh, this is really easy, and I started subbing. I got rid of milk, not got rid of it, but I was like, I don't need it in all this thing, so I'll take that out. And in my cooking, I started going, well, if I can make this recipe, it doesn't need oil. Why does a recipe call for oil? 99% of the time, your recipes don't need oil. So I was like, well, that's a waste of calories. Yeah. So I would take the oil out. I was like, oh, does it need a liquid? Okay, I'll put applesauce in. I'll put something else in that. So I was always creative. And so that really was an outlet for it. I was like, I can take this recipe that I found online and I can reduce the calories by like a quarter or more, sometimes almost nearly half the calories. A lot of people ask me all the time now, oh, can you give me the recipe for this that you make? Can you give me the recipe for that? I'm like, absolutely. Or give me your recipes and I can help you cut back on all the stuff that doesn't need to be in there. And it can still taste delicious. So that's when I started subbing out. And so about a year before, I did end up having the bariatric surgery. But a year before, as I was cutting all this stuff out, I started losing weight. And I thought, this is fantastic. And one day I was sitting there and I don't know what triggered the thought in me, but I started watching some documentaries, because that's how we get here. Started watching some documentaries and things were happening. And I said, why am I still eating any animal products at all? And I went into my cupboards and I took everything out that still had traces of animal products in it. And it filled up 2 grocery bags. That was all that I had left in my cupboards because of all the time. So I was like, what am I even doing? This is a waste. There's just no point. There's no point to eat this. And then I made the ethical connection, kind of all in that same moment. I went, there's no point to any of this. And if there's no point, if I don't need it, because clearly I'm extremely healthy. My doctor is shocked. She used words like, she said, your blood work is a dream. And I'm like, wow. It's a what? So I lost a substantial amount of weight. Now in total, I've lost 165, 170 pounds. I'm in somewhere in that. I've lost for my heaviest weight. I'm more fit than I've ever been in my entire life. I've never been fit. I never exercised. I love exercise. Medically speaking, everything, I am so healthy. And if I don't need any of that to be healthy, then what am I doing? It's pointless.
True. Wow.
That's incredible. It in a nutshell. That's even a lot of information. There's a lot more that happened throughout that phase.
That's the overview, yeah.
That's the overview.
And so you had the surgery. And so how much did you weigh before and after the surgery?
So before I had the surgery, I had lost 100 pounds from my heaviest weight.
Okay.
So I weighed about 240 when I had the surgery. And since the surgery, I've lost about 70 pounds since the surgery. And so I do still have, it's hard to say, I technically still have more weight to lose, like for my size and my frame, but I have so much excess body skin too, which is whole other avenue that I'm pursuing. But from my shoulders to my knees, I I do a lot of skin teching. So there's probably, we've guesstimated anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds of excess skin. So if you take that off of my small frame, I'm probably, with the muscle building that I do, right around where I should be. So it's hard to say if I need to lose any more weight or not.
Right.
We'll see.
Right.
I don't have a goal, because my goal is when I'm comfortable and when I feel that I'm at my best fitness ability, and, you know, when I'm feeling physically comfortable in my own skin.
Sure. And you've reached that, and it's just like, you know, you could go further, but today is where you are, and that's amazing.
Yeah, and I want to embrace that, and I want to help other people embrace that as well. Because you can't, and you hear these cliches, and I'm a cliche master. I love them. I love them because they're true. They wouldn't have become them if they weren't. Like, you can't hate yourself healthy. You have to love where you're at. You have to embrace where you are. And that doesn't mean you can't change it. You can love your home and want it to look different, and paint the walls and change the carpet and re-roof, right? You can, and love your home. And that's the point. Your body's your home. You have to love your home in order to take care of it and want it to change and want it to improve. You can't hate your house and then want it to be a great, wonderful place. It doesn't work that way.
That's true.
So I love the fact that my body is in the place it is now. And no, it's not the body that I'm moving towards. I'm moving towards a different physical fitness level. Always. I'm always trying new things. But it's because I love myself. And it's because I love what this body can do for me today. And how far it's come, and what my body was like before. I loved that body too, because of what it did for me before and what it taught me. And I wouldn't have learned this without having lived through that.
Indeed, indeed. And, you know, my favorite definition of what the word love is to witness without judgment, and to show up, and to, you know, accept everything as it is, you know, which is one way of looking at things. And it seems like you're really doing that.
It's true. Well, because we have no choice.
Yes.
You really don't. So fighting against it is futile, because it's not going to change it. Fighting it will not change it.
Yeah.
So, but yet we spend so much time in the resistance that we're wasting all the valuable opportunities that we can to, like, embrace it and grow with it and use it and really take advantage of where we're at. Right. Because if we fight where we're at, I mean, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here.
You're going to create some chaos for yourself.
You're just going to be frustrated. And I've done that too.
So Cheryl, I remember you telling me that you were interested in personal training, and I believe that you have some certifications yourself.
So I did my personal training course. One of the things that, so back, 7 years ago when I hired my first personal trainer, she was an awesome person, and one of the little things in the back of my mind, and I never said it out loud for years and years, I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if one day I lost a bunch of weight and I did what she's doing? Wow. I went to somebody's house and I helped them. Like, this was this little voice in the back of my head, right?
Wow.
Listen to those voices, tuck them away. Yeah. Remember when you say those things. But it was just such a pipe dream. Like, there's no way that me at my, morbid obesity and my unfit, and I also disliked anything physical. I mean, how could you like physical activity at that size? It was just terrible. But I never actually enjoyed doing anything physical. So I thought, but for some reason, this little voice said that in my head.
Wow.
Yeah. And so as the years went by and I started to like exercise, and I started running when I was 304 pounds. I remember being 304 pounds exactly in the day she made me run for the first time.
Wow.
And now I run for fun, for the meditation that comes with it, for the being out in nature. Like, that is, I still can't wrap my head around that being me. So why I decided to take the personal training course was because I want to help other people find fitness in their life and what it means for them. And So I get a lot of comments all the time, Cheryl, I can't do what you do. And it's like, well, of course you can't. You're not me. And you'll never do what I do. And that doesn't mean that you won't do a million things that I wouldn't do.
Right.
But I want to help you find the things that you'll do. Mm-hmm. So maybe swimming is your thing. Maybe skiing is your thing. Maybe, I don't know, rock climbing is your thing. Yoga, dancing, whatever, you name it, cycling. Maybe those are your things. I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
But I want to help you find it.
Right.
And all the trainers that I had helped me find my thing. And it's been, I've had 3 personal trainers over all these years, and every single one of them has left such a lasting impression. And I just hope to instill that same thing on somebody else. And I tell this to people all the time, like, listen to me, pick out the things that mean something to you, throw the rest in the garbage. I really don't care.
Yeah.
If I'm wasting my voice talking to you, that doesn't bother me whatsoever, because something that I have to say is going to trigger something in you, for you to develop yourself and for you to find what works for you.
Right.
And it works the same with food. And so in conjunction with the personal training, I want to help people find wellness and wholeness and health and happiness in their life. Like, I don't just want to be a personal trainer. I can exercise with people, and I do. But it's more than that. It's so much more than that. And so if people like, I can't, they also say, well, I can't eat like you. Well, not most people don't, because I'm your rice and beans vegan now. Like, I eat very plain foods, which is fine. I enjoy my plain foods. I also make very delicious, fancy things too. But don't eat like me. I don't expect you to eat like me. I wouldn't eat like you.
Right.
But I can help you take your food, the things you like, your Sunday dinner, and I can help you make it healthier.
Yeah.
If that's what you want. So, my passion really delved. It just grew into this thing, and like, wow, if these women can have had such a huge impact on my life, and we are completely different people, then I only can hope to have the same impact on somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. So where can people get a hold of you if somebody wants to maybe, talk to you or hire you as a trainer?
So I'm working on developing my coaching program, which is like one-on-one coaching via Skype or, some kind of interview process. I'm working on developing that program more than my one-on-one personal training, because it's more than the exercise for me. So,
yes.
But yeah, so if people do want to reach me, I'm reachable via my email, my Facebook, or my Instagram. So I'm ChangingCheryl on Instagram.
Yep.
I am my full name on Facebook, Cheryl Alexander. Or you can email me directly, C_S as in Sam, ALO, Cheryl Salo, Cheryl _ Salo at hotmail.com.
Okay.
And I don't mind. You reach out to me in any way if you want, and maybe I can help.
That sounds amazing. And it's so wonderful, like, the vegan movement has really grown in the past, several decades, especially in the past decade, I would feel. And it's just so great to hear stories like this, and also just to go into supermarkets and see that there is such a huge variety of vegan foods that we can use as meat and milk substitutes.
Absolutely. It's still baffling to me that it's everywhere you turn now, it's something new is coming up, and it's so fantastic. And and the great thing is I don't have judgment for people who are testing the waters and dipping their toe in, and like, I want to try some almond milk, but I still want to eat eggs. It's like, okay, fine. I had a journey here. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Very few people were born vegan and grew up this way their whole life. And so it's, it's something that's, we're so ingrained with it it's so normal in our society, to not be vegan, to eat the way everybody else eats. But one quote that I really like is it's oh gosh, I lost it in my head. But it's about being normal in a sick society. So it's like, yes, we're all happy with being so normal. It's so normal, but does that make it good in a society that's so ill? Not really.
And
So
somebody
it's like,
decided, like a group of people decided to educate us in schools and on TV, and whoever came up with the, the health guide and you should eat this. Somebody made those decisions and, like nailed it into our heads through like media and TV and newspapers, and then we just think that that's the way it should be.
yes. And it's like, well, my neighbors are like that, and my mother's like that, and my
Yeah,
school's like that, and everywhere, my employer and my coworkers, and everything you do in society. And we're all just comfortable in this because everybody's the same. And so, to go outside of that, well, that's abnormal. But
yeah,
just because
it's
it's normal
changing.
doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, and that's changing. So that's so
Right.
beautiful to hear. Well, thank you, Cheryl. Any parting words before we end?
I just want, I would like people to know that there's hope. So
Yeah,
whether you are obese or you've got chronic illness or you feel like you just is just the way I am. There's nothing I can do about it. There really is. Yeah, I know that people feel like it's you know everybody but me. But I felt that way too. And and here's one cliche I don't like. It's, if I can do it, you can do it. um, I don't like it because it's comparing people. But what I
yeah,
do
yeah,
like about that cliche is that you can do it, not the way somebody else did it, but you can do it the way you can do it.
yeah. So we all have our own path, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. You're such a huge inspiration. I just love your images on Facebook and on Instagram. Instagram was where I found you. And then we
Thank
actually
you.
ended up meeting through another way through your husband, and it was just so beautiful how that all came together.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Cheryl, and best luck to you. I think that I have a feeling that your business is going to just take off because you're so inspirational, and there's a lot of people out there who would love a helping hand.
Well, thank you for this. This has been fantastic, and I hope I can, yeah, help anybody in any way. I'd be over the moon to do so.
Thank you.